So I know I said 84 days ago, but I also made one 93 days ago. And so I'm going to make another video with that one. That one I go into more detail about the herb pack. So 93 days ago, I made that audio. And 85 days ago from today, I made the one that I'm playing the video. But I wanted to add to this that the one from 93 days ago that I'm getting ready to play in the next video, I go into more detail about the herbs and my experience, the case study that I did. But I also wanted to tie this in because I'm going to talk about it in another video and I'm going to post that. But where I talk about the transmissions from the other side of the bubble to this side of the bubble and how we get information about 90 days, give or take, prior to the event taking place on the earthly realm. So judgment is passed, or whenever there's a ruling done on the other side of the bubble that we live in, you don't see it in the, what we say, the physical world. You won't see it on this side of the fence until about 90 days, give or take, from the time that the judgment was made. So it's very telling because I've had several of these that has taken place in recent time. And so for me to have that to come through where I'm just talking about the herb pack 90 something days ago, 80 something days ago, and then for this to happen is very telling. And I have a couple of other examples about stuff that's going on in the world right now where I channeled this stuff like 70 something days ago and it's happening in the world right now. And so I'm just saying that to just let y'all know these are real world examples of how this stuff is coming from the other side of the bubble. And it's, you know, and you as a human have access to get this information because, again, when we talk about the other side of the bubble, it's another world over there. There's so many different worlds, but there's a governance over this world. And so I know a lot of times you want to feel like you helpless and you hopeless and that, you know, these, you know, people that's running around here in the physical realm here are in control, but they're not. They actually report to the other side. Like they don't report to them, but the other side controls them. And so even as no matter how much, if they ever feel like they're in control, they always are being governed by the other side of the bubble. And they're being watched and everybody's being watched and things are being documented. Things are happening. And if you see what's going on in the world right now, you can clearly see how the hands are being shown. And I know it's a lot of destructive things happening right now in the world, but there's also the exposure of things happening in the world right now. And the way I talk, you know, you got to understand, I jump from one topic to the next. That's how I operate. So you got to stick with me. I'm finna bring this up because this is coming through as a message I need to say. But this shit has been going on for centuries. And the people have been so brainwashed to the point where if this don't happen in your face, like it's happening in your face right now. It's all over socials. It's happening in your face right now. In order for the people to, it's like, wake up, people, wake up. But they're already too comfortable. But see, the way it was is you were born into this. They've been doing this to your parents. They did it to your parents' parents. Da, 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 da. And they've been doubling down on keeping information from the newer generations. This is part of their long-term strategy. And that shit, see, that's what I'm saying. They have to report to the other side. Like the other side governs them. They're not in control. As much as they want to act like and pretend like they're all high and mighty and they're in control, they're not in control. There is a governance on the other side of the wall, on the other side of the fucking bubble that we are in. When I say governance, I mean there's groups, there's people, there's like other, it's like you want to say people, but like when you say people, you think it's a human, somebody look like us. I'm just saying there's a governance on the other side. It's like it's like if you wanna think of it like at like like a movie. You watching the movie, but who's behind the camera? Who wrote the script? Who, who's the director? Where's the, where are the editors? Like, there's people behind the scenes. And the world that you live in, on the other side of the bubble, there's a governance. And so even though you have these people here, like I said, they're not in control. And I put it in my songs when I talk about the universe. And the universe, and when I talk about all of that stuff, I'm talking about the system. I'm talking about the technology. The universe is the technology. There's so many different pieces of this. Let's say, for example, you have, I was going to say a car, but like, because the car is the technology, right? But who built the car? Or who's the mechanic of the car? So like the people here that you call like, light angels and, teachers that are here and mission teachers and things like that, they are the mechanics to fine tune and keep this place in tune and keep things in check. And then you have the architects, you have the people who build the cars, right? And then you have the people that run the cars, that drive the cars. So just because you drive a car doesn't mean you built it. It doesn't mean you know how to fix it. You might know how to fix it and drive it. It depends. I'm just giving you another metaphor to try to explain to you, like, there's multiple things going on. And then you go underneath the hood of the car and you look at the engine, like, there's so many moving parts. There's so much going on. And if you don't have an instruction manual, you can only guess how the car operates. You can only try to replicate a car if you try to. What they're trying to do right now with the computer technology, they're trying to replicate a car. They're trying to build a world inside of a world. They build an artificial world inside of an already artificial world, because they are not the governed. They don't control this world. So they're trying to create a world that they can control. And you don't think that's being watched, governed, and dictated over by the governance on the outside that built this technology that we living in to begin with? Who you think controls the NPCs? What do you think controls the NPCs? It's a big situation. It's a big old overlining of layers on top of layers. And there's just no way that a person here can like dissect all of it in a human logical manner. You have to be at a point where you can situationally explain this shit. As I said multiple times, it will be contradiction on top of contradiction if I was to sit here and try to explain this stuff on a logical human perspective, because you can't explain this stuff on a human level. But unfortunately, as unfortunate as it is, people need to see the destruction of these things happening in the world in order for it to spark change in them and pull them out of their comforts of ignorance. And people are still doing it. If you go on socials, people are like, why are they doing this, guys? Why is this happening? You know why it's happening. I think people just be playing dumb on purpose, but you know why it's happening. Anyway, going back to the other herb video. I told you I go on tangents. I'm going to make another video where I put the herb pack information in. I talk about my case study of the herb pack. Shout out to Panic for sure.